In the middleweight division, the former champion, the American Rich Franklin, 32 years old, 7 years the elder of the young man from Kanagawa, Japan, Yushin Okami. 2-inch reach advantage for Okami. Both weighed in at 185 pounds, which is 13.2 stone. It is time to get our main event started, and with the official introductions, once again, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our judges for this contest are Doug Crosby, Chris Lee, and Chris Watts. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Big John McCarthy. And now, live from the Odyssey Arena in Belfast, Northern Ireland, it's time! 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 21 wins with 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, 13.2 stones. Fighting out of Kanagawa, Japan, Yushin Okami! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record of 23 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, 13.2 stone. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, the former UFC middleweight champion, Rich Ace Franklin!
Gentlemen, I gave your instructions in your dressing rooms. Do I have any questions from Yushin? Any questions from you, Rich? I want you to fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch gloves. Go back to corner, let's get it going.
Interesting, I've never seen Rich compete before with his ankles taped. I wonder if he's going to unleash some kicks tonight.
It would not surprise us, would it? Neil Rowe is Muay Thai coach. He thinks he has the advantage on the feet. Okami against Franklin, our main event of the evening. Big John McCarthy, our referee.
You ready? You ready? Let's get it on, come on!
If Rich Franklin wins this fight and Anderson Silva defends against Nate Marquardt, it has already been confirmed by our matchmaker Joe Silva that Franklin will fight in a rematch with Anderson Silva for the middleweight championship. So lots on the line here tonight for the Cincinnati native.
I've never seen Rich Franklin in a stare down where he looked like a smaller fighter either.
He's usually towering over these guys.
Okami is huge.
Both guys left-handers, but got to be unusual for both of them. You just don't see 2 lefties face each other that often. I wonder how that went in training.
When Mike Swick did open up his hands against Yushin Okami, he had a bit of success. So Rich had to see that on the tape and think he could have equal or greater success.
Yeah, Okami spent the majority of the fight with Swick as a one-handed fighter, basically just throwing jabs and looking for the takedowns.
See if one of those kicks comes early, Randy. Franklin has 1-punch knockout power, witnessed by his win over Nate Quarry.
Interesting, Franklin is actually right-handed. He taught himself to fight as a southpaw because he thought it was more awkward.
He taught himself mixed martial arts with Josh Rafferty in a 12-by-15 shed many years ago.
I don't know how many holes are in that sheetrock.
Yeah, you got that right. Swing and a miss, right? Early portion of our main event. Remember, it's a non-title fight, so it is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
It's very difficult to strike against a guy who's not trying to engage. All Okami's doing is throwing jabs and moving away.
With that, should Franklin be aware of not chasing Yushin Okami?
Well, he's not really the type of guy that chases anybody anyway. He corners them. He moves them around. He gives them angles. He's not the type of guy that goes rushing afterwards, because that's how you get taken down, and that's also how you get caught.
He's coming in low under a nice stiff jab and trying to follow with a hook. ducking his head a little bit on the jab. It's a little concerning if Yushin sees the pattern. That was good contact there. You can hear that all the way over here.
Franklin, coming off the devastating loss to Anderson Silva, looked very good and answered a lot of the mental questions, I believe, Randy, in his very strong performance in the victory over Jason McDonald.
Absolutely. It's always the key to see how a guy comes back that first fight after a loss. Is he gun shy? Is he have trouble pulling the trigger? I think there's several fighters out there that have been in that situation that we're seeing still having trouble pulling the trigger.
And those were both two opponents, both Yushin Okami and Jason McDonald, were two good opponents for him in the comeback because they're not known for their striking.
Trying to size up Okami early as Franklin. Okami definitively trying to set up a takedown. One at least would think. Or at least clinch and control as we see here.
Pretty good head movement by Franklin as he comes in behind that jab.
Now let's find out if Franklin can match the strength of Yushin Okami, Randy.
Yushin Okami with double overhooks. Franklin with the better position double underhooks. But with the judo skills, that overhook is not a problem for Okami to step across and try to throw.
Franklin has been defeated just twice in his career, by Machida and by Silva. Using the knees. So is Okami. Franklin trying to mix things up a little bit.
Stop it right there. Stop it. Let's go.
And McCarthy will separate him.
We got to fight. Let's fight.
Southpaw against southpaw.
Good
There's
leg
the
kick by
first
Rich
low
Franklin.
kick right there. Didn't really set it up, but it was a surprise. Landed nice.
Franklin's a good striker, but he's got an awkward style. They're wide, like looping punches, and it seems like he throws punches with his arms. Very effective, but it's a very unusual striking style.
It's got to be different facing a left-hander, too. He's much more dynamic and used to stepping outside that lead leg and dealing with right-handers on a regular basis.
Rich saw that one coming from Okami a second ago, ducked under it nicely. I mean, this man, Rich Franklin, has beaten a who's who inside the octagon. Evan Tanner not once, but twice. Shamrock, Quarry, Loazo, most recently Jason McDonald. 23 wins overall for Franklin, 21 for Yushin Okami.
Speaking of McDonald, nice job of him coming back tonight.
That was, it's been an incredible night, Randy. Big leg kick there.
Those are going to start to chop Okami down, give him another dimension to think about below the waist, and that'll make the upper body shots and the punching that much more effective.
Yushin Okami didn't really do much that round.
Yushin likes a slow pace. He's more of a counter fighter.
Listening, rhythm and feints the whole time.
George Gurgel.
Breathe, heart rate down.
He's not that strong.
He's not
UFC
strong.
veteran.
There you go. Hey, I like it. You look good.
Don't worry about pleasing the crowd.
Did I win the round? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry about pleasing the crowd.
You look
Do your
great.
thing, okay?
You're listening perfect. Keep your chin down. Don't do that. Keep your chin down, your hands up.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
your chin down, your hands up, okay? And your feints. Your feints are perfect. You get him off. Keep your left hand up. Keep your left hand up. He has no chance.
Use your feints in combination.
Neil Rowe in the background outside the fence, his Muay Thai coach.
こっち回り単調すぎるからたまに
In the corner of Yushin Okami.
特にストレート振りたいんだったら
Franklin
左
giving a
手
little different evaluation than we've heard from some of the other guys, saying he's not that strong.
I would like to hear what they said in Yushin Okami's corner.
Well, you did.
I'd like to hear it in English.
Franklin and Okami start of the second round.
All right, you ready? You ready? Let's get on. Come on, round two.
What can or will Okami look to do differently here, Randy?
I think he's got to mount some offense. He can't just let Franklin pick at him like this. He's got to step it up. He's got to take a little risk, step outside the box, if you will, a little bit, and let something go.
Perhaps very much like you have done many times, throw the hands or the legs a little bit to set up a takedown attempt.
Well, and he got to the clinch. I'm just surprised he wasn't more active when they did get to the clinch. He had double overhooks. He could have been a little more dynamic with his hips there and tried for a takedown, tried to put him on the ground.
Rich Franklin landed a nice leg kick there.
Nice double pump on the jab. That second jab landed stiff in Okami's face.
So if Franklin wins here tonight, he won't have to wait very long to find out if his rematch is forthcoming, because Silva looks to defend in just a couple of weeks. UFC 72 victory, Odyssey Arena, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, UFC Hall of Famer and heavyweight champion Randy the Natural Couture.
Interesting you said that, Mike. Silva has a very tough test in front of him. Nate Marquardt is
no question.
It's a great style matchup for Nate. He can put that fight on the ground.
Oh, head kick by Franklin.
Coming
right
forward.
over.
It's about time Yushin Okami gets going. He's got to do something.
Funny
here.
you say that, Joe, because I was just going to say to you, to illustrate the point that Randy said, he's got to go into an offensive mode at some point.
I mean, he's made 0 attempts to take Rich Franklin down, which is kind of surprising. I expected him to be patient in the beginning of the fight, but, you know, we're deep into the second round here, and he's done nothing. Oh, leg kick himself. Nice.
Franklin with that looping right a moment ago.
Guys bumped heads a little bit there. Doesn't look like either guy got cut.
Oh, there it is.
Ducked under.
Nice underhook and recovery by Rich Franklin, circling his underhook now. It'll be hard for Okami to take him down from there. It'll take something pretty dynamic.
Good
Rich
job
with
by
the
Rich.
double underhooks. Controlling that clinch position from the double underhooks. When the guy on the inside generally has a better position with his hips and control.
Well, we've seen before, we've seen a lot of Rich Franklin, obviously, but on UFC All Access, we saw the weightlifting routine, the hour of non-stop strength building and conditioning that Franklin utilizes, and so far he has been able to match the strength of Yushin Okami, which has not been the case for many of Okami's opponents.
Yeah, Rich is every bit as big as Okami. You look at him chest to chest. Okami's.
So both times Okami's gotten at least to what you think would be a better position. The fight is stalled and McCarthy's broken him up. Okami needs to stay busier there.
He's got to be more dynamic.
Okami's a taller fighter, but Rich definitely seems to be thicker.
Franklin's weight cut was successful. He was not nearly as grumpy as he usually is prior to the weigh-ins.
It's amazing, though, how different he looks yesterday and today.
Oh.
Freeze-dried food.
Pretty much.
Water.
And Okami's always lean-looking. Franklin moving forward again. Final 90 seconds of the second round. Been a great card here tonight, Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Good head movement by Franklin. A little more aggressive coming in. Okami's letting him control the tempo and pace of this fight.
Oh, caught him with a right. Okami caught him with a bit of a right as the kick landed from Rich Franklin's left leg. Franklin body shot.
I'm very curious to see what Okami thinks he's going to do to win this fight. He made one attempt at a takedown, or at least at a clinch. Lands a very light head kick there, but he's done nothing since then. Maybe he's trying to counter.
Well, he countered the kick with maybe the first point he even scored a second ago, Joe, but as you mentioned, it may be the only one. Franklin has been the initiator.
Okami's letting him get off. He's just letting him get off and control this.
Rich pushing forward again.
And really, even when Rich brings the action, he's not countering that well. He's not bringing anything back offensively.
And as you mentioned very early in the fight, Joe, it is difficult to engage against an opponent who is not willing to exchange.
Yeah, all Okami is doing basically is countering.
Oh,
the exchange there.
Nice left hand by Franklin.
Second round.
Okami's got to do something drastic.
I think Rich hurt his left hand with that punch.
He's broken his hand.
What made you say that, Randy?
Because he looked down and wiggled his thumb when they were walking back to his corner.
Yes, you won that round. Don't get greedy.
Here's the left hand. Yeah, it looked like he landed it with his thumb. Let's look at that again from this angle. Watch how he lands it. Yeah, it was the thumb right on the side of the head. If we could see it afterwards, see him shake his hand. Yeah, he landed like almost like a Rich hand.
Posture and follow his hips.
You watch when he walks back to his corner. He looks down and shakes his hand just a little bit.
Yeah, that was an awkward punch.
He's got nothing
In
for
the
you.
Lawazo
Your
fight,
rhythms are disturbing
Franklin
him.
broke his right hand in the second round.
agua.
I remember like it was yesterday, George Gurgel saying, hey, don't worry about it. It'll numb
Good
up.
work.
And it did.
Yes,
And
you
he ended
are
up winning.
killing him.
And that was a 5-round fight.
Don't get greedy.
Don't go after him with the left hand. Work behind the jab, okay?
If you get double unders, take him down. Follow the hips. Beautiful. You are winning. Don't get greedy.
Don't get greedy.
Yep, extremely well-educated young man, a role model for all, Rich Franklin. Owner of 2 4-year degrees and a master's in education. He's a full-time mixed martial artist and one of the best in the world now. Okami was looking for an explosion.
Trying to do a flying knee.
Yep, a smile to the face of Rich Franklin.
Okami knows he's got to do something drastic. He's down 2 rounds. He's got to finish this fight.
Franklin got a hold of the leg for just a millisecond.
Like he wanted to take him down and then lost his grip on the shin.
Is there a reason for Franklin to think about a takedown?
Not other than he just caught his leg, and it's a good opportunity to sweep the other leg and knock him down. Looks good, it scores good. But he's winning the stand-up battles. No reason for him to put this fight on the ground.
Okami's definitely stepped up the pace, but good body shot by Franklin.
Well, that was a left hand, didn't seem to bother him any there.
Body kick.
Main event of UFC 72 here.
Rich has got to be careful hanging his head on that side of Okami's body. Would catch a knee.
Okami's got him down.
There it is, perfect
Side
takedown.
control.
Nice trip by Okami. Rich got a little out of position.
Rich will
This
try
is
to shake
Okami's
the hips
strength.
and get to guard.
Mount. Nope, Rich has got a knee in. If he can stick that knee through, he's got half guard. He's got to stick that knee up and high and then get his ankle on the outside. Okami's keeping the pressure on him.
Rich holding on, trying to close the gap.
Still got plenty of time, 3.5 minutes to go.
Watch the back of his head. Watch the back of his head.
Full mount, full mount.
For Yushin Okami.
Franklin's got to get busy here. You don't want to lay around under here. Not with 3 minutes left in a round.
Ton of time remaining in the fight. First time we've seen Okami have any type of success and control in this fight.
He's crawling up to a higher mount, too, which is going to be harder for Franklin to get out. Franklin does a nice
Good job by Franklin.
Elbow escape.
Okami stays on him, though.
Franklin looking to get to a better position, having a tough time.
He's still got one knee inside. If Okami can get his right leg over the top of Franklin's knee, he'll get mount again. Franklin's doing a real good job of keeping that leg on it.
He's got the butterfly.
He's elevating him, but man, Okami's got a great base.
Outstanding base. Franklin trying to get into guard. Trying to get Okami within his guard. Even a half guard here to neutralize a bit.
Staying balled up as Rich Franklin tried to escape out the back. Creates a scramble. He's to finish a single.
Okami's got a guillotine, though. Rich has got to be careful here.
Rich has got his head up and pretty high.
He checks the clock. 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
He's got it. He turned it. He turned
Rich
it.
is going to get out. Rich is going to get out. He's got an arm in the lock.
And he does. Great job done by Rich Franklin.
Scramble for Okami.
Now Franklin crawling to the mount position.
That was a nervous 2 minutes for all the fans around the world of Rich Franklin.
Nice job with the butterfly guard for Rich.
Okami standing up. Rich
And
drags
Rich
him
will come down to the ground.
Rich has
Rich
got
is
his back.
High single. Rich Franklin is head
90
behind.
seconds remain.
In a high cross position.
Checks the clock again. He survived.
Kimura attempt. Kimura attempt by Okami.
He's got it loose. Oh!
Can he finish? Can he tap Rich Franklin?
It's not the best spot to tap him because he's got it half guard.
He's going to
He gets
roll
a full
out.
guard.
He's going to roll his arm
He's
out.
got full guard.
He's trying to get it.
Franklin
Almost out to position. Franklin's got to roll to relieve the pressure.
Franklin's in deep trouble. He's in deep trouble now. Real bad trouble. Real bad.
Franklin trying to survive again.
Franklin's okay now. If he can keep his arm close to his body like this, if Okami can snap it on the outside and pull it away from his body, that's when he's in trouble.
Rich trying to make the adjustment.
Yep, and Okami needs to know he's got to do this soon, guys.
He's going to come up in omoplata position again. Franklin rolls it out.
And Franklin escapes one more time.
Posture's up big now, looking to bring some shots down on Okami.
And now he's 25 seconds away from victory.
What a great round.
Franklin doing a nice job on top, half guard position, trying to clear and posture up.
10 seconds remains. Okami had a few chances in the third and final round, but Franklin survived.
Wow, great round. A great finish to the fight.
Nothing to be ashamed of. But we saw a glimpse of how dangerous Yushin Okami is, Randy.
Absolutely.
It seemed like just a little too little, a little too late.
Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on our main event?
Well, finally, Okami took it to Franklin. He didn't do that in the first 2 rounds, so Franklin barely won the first 2 rounds. Not much happening. He out-hustled Okami. Okami finally got the takedown. Had him in the mount. Had him in a guillotine for a second. Almost had that Kimura. He definitely won the 3rd round, but too little, too late. Rich Franklin, 29-28.
Eddie, thank you very much. And Okami earning the 3rd round in Eddie's books. But the first 2 rounds were undeniably rounds that belonged to Rich Franklin. You agree, Randy?
Yeah, absolutely. Okami let Rich take those rounds. He let him control the tempo of the fight. Rich brought all the action in the fight. Okami did very little.
How close was Okami to finishing this fight, working on the submission against Franklin in the 3rd round?
Very, very close. Watch the arm pop out. Beautiful Kimura here. 2 of Okami's hands on one of Rich's. You can see how far it's bending. Rich just showing a lot of power not to have to tap here. Eventually he rolls to alleviate the pressure because that arm is tweaked.
And the escape.
Here he'll pull it out again, trying to get to omoplata position, isolate the arm, and Rich rolls it. That's some power.
Rich is going to give his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach, George Gurgel, a big hug if indeed he reigns supreme here. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Rich Ace Franklin!
He has done what he needed to do. And here is Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, former UFC middleweight champion, Rich Ace Franklin. Rich, congratulations. It was a tough fight, very precarious 3rd round. How close was that Kimura?
It was pretty close. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on my shoulder. He had me a little nervous, but I just kept moving and posting my head the way that I should, trying to be leery of the triangle, and I was able to pull out of it.
Now, all his previous opponents had said how strong Okami was, but basically you overpowered him in this fight. You agree to that?
Yeah, I tried. Every time we clinched, I tried to make sure that he was on the fence the most. I slipped up there in the 3rd round and gave him that trip. I knew better than that. I knew that's what he's good at, and a little disappointed, but it happens.
Well, you pulled out the victory. Take a look at the big screen and talk us through some of the action here.
You know, when we kept, this mat's very slippery, so I kept trying to fight for center control of the logo here. And, you know, my corners kept telling me, run the feint, run the feint. He was trying to suck me into something big and then counter off of it. And here's the trip. We're already to a different piece.
The decal was a problem?
No, the decal is what keeps my footing.
So the decal's good, the rest of the mat was...
Yeah, I was trying to fight for position on this decal the whole night.
Maybe we just need a big Zenergy decal over the whole octagon.
Something.
Well, congratulations on your next fight, your comeback trail. Now we understand your next fight afterwards would be the winner for your middleweight title to get another shot at it. How do you feel about that?
If that's what's next, then that's what's next.
Well, congratulations again. We look forward to seeing you again. Rich Franklin, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, a great reception for the victorious Rich Franklin. And I like the mental approach that he has taken to trying to recover from the disappointment of losing his belt a couple of fights ago. Because Randy, the interesting thing is he keeps saying whatever is next is next. And that's a very strong cerebral approach to take. What a night.